Hey there, welcome to Black Gumbo. I'm going to divide some tomato plants today and show you how easy it is to start a lot of seeds in a small space. Okay, so if you love tomatoes like I do and you want to grow a lot of tomatoes but you don't have a lot of space, you have maybe a small seed starting light or just a little window where you can start your seeds, there's a planting and sowing method that makes good use of small space. I've seen this method used by Curtis at Renaissance Farms, by Craig LaHoulier in his books and on his YouTube channel. These are men who know about raising tomatoes. These are men who breed tomatoes and have written books about tomatoes and sell tomatoes. So I like their methods, and I thought, well, I'll do that this year. I've got some tiny little cups, and I'm going to sow some seeds in there. I had to do some backup seeds this year, and I thought, well, I'll just try this, and then I've done it before, but I'll try it on some of my favorite varieties, and then we'll use it as a demo, a tutorial on how to divide seedlings. So all you need is a bunch of seeds, a little bit of seed starting mix, and a place to grow them. Let me show you how to sow them, and then we'll look at what happens when they come up. Then we'll divide them out, and I'll show you that it works. Okay, so here Sam and I are at the seed starting table, and this is all we're going to use. So what we're doing, Sam, is we're going to plant a whole pack of seeds into one little pot. And I'm going to then show how to divide all the little seedlings out into their individual cups. So I want you to take some of that moss there. What we're going to use is just a seed starting mix. I've got some sphagnum moss. You can use that. You can use a specific seed starting mix if you want. But this is what we have. This is what we're going to use. You could also use compost if you want. This isn't hard. I like this fine stuff because it's a whole lot easier to separate your wow. It's a whole lot easier to separate the roots of your little seedlings when you have real fine mix. So I'm going to take these tomato seeds, and I have a packet here. This was one of those freebies that you get from Baker Creek. Purple Russian. Well, I thought I already opened it. Yeah, there we go. All right, so what I want you to do is level that out and then dump every single seed in there. Make sure you get them all. Uh-oh, lost one. There's still some in there, aren't there? Oh, you got all, there's no more left. Okay, so that's about 25 seeds. And all we've done, you can see, is just put them right in there in a mat, in a mass. You can spread them around if you want, if it makes you feel better, but it doesn't really matter. And then all you do is put a little more, just a little more sprinkling, like you're putting salt on a steak. There you go, a little bit more. Just cover them over lightly, water them in real well, and wait till they sprout. That's all there is to planting a whole seed packet in one little cup like this. And you could do more. I've seen Curtis at Renaissance Farms does a whole lot more in his little cells. He puts like 50 seeds in there. But yeah, that's about a seed packet, 25 seeds. There'll be 25 little seedlings in here. Let me show you what it looks like when they sprout. Now, when they sprout, they look like this. This was a packet of yellow brandywine seeds started, about not quite a month ago. And they're looking kind of sad because they're all dried out in here, and they really need to be potted up, and they need to be divided. What I would do is slightly moisten this and let these guys sort of recover from being stressed. They need water, and there's a couple of them in there that are pretty stressed and don't have leaves. So this is not the best example, but it's the one I have on hand because I'm making the planting part of the video after I already divided out my others. So let's go look at how you divide these. We're going to put each individual plant in its own cell now and pot them up so they can grow. Alright, so I have these white beauty tomatoes. There are 6 of them in this little container, and that's not enough room. That's just to get them started as seedlings. But you can see they're kind of leggy. I'm going to put them in this 6-cell container here. I'll show you how to divide these out, and that'll give them a little more room to mature and grow up. So this is actually really easy. Tomatoes handle this very well. You just take your root ball, make sure it's a little bit moist, and start working these tomatoes apart very gently. you're going to cut some of those roots. But there's one. There's two. And you can see that they're all wiry and bound up together in here, but they will recover. Tomatoes especially are good for dividing. That's a big chunk of root. Because all along this stem, if you bury it up to here, these hairs have the potential to become roots themselves. And so like this guy right here doesn't have a whole lot of root on him, but that doesn't matter. We're going to bury these deep, and hopefully all 6 of them will take. This is very stressful on the plant, but I think they can handle it. So there's our separated, divided tomatoes there, 6 of them. Now, I probably should have a little bit deeper container, but what I'm doing is putting my finger in, making a hole all the way to the bottom. And this is just regular potting soil. I'm just going to press that down as deep as it'll go into that soil, and we'll fill in around it. Craig LaHoulier, who wrote the book Epic Tomatoes, he just kind of shoves them in with his finger. He lays them on the surface and shoves them down, and the stems actually form a U. I'm not quite, I don't have soil that's quite good enough or fine enough to do that right now. This is pretty coarse stuff. So I'll just drop them in and build up around them. This is vermiculite, and I'm just going to use this. This is already dampened. I'm just going to top off these cells with vermiculite. That will ensure that there's some moisture retention. It'll act sort of as a mulch. Although you can grow in straight vermiculite. That is yellow brandywine. I've got a bunch of them in here. Let's see if we can't separate these out. Now these are very small, and you want to work quickly so they don't dry out. I'm going to try to grow these up so I can share some goodness with my church family. I don't have a yellow brandywine in my garden yet. Don't have a spot for it. These were backup tomatoes that I grew as potential replacements for my tomato crops that I had overwatered in the grow room under the lights. And again, I'm just going to make a hole with my finger all the way down to the bottom. Probably should have gloves on. Us gardeners got perpetually filthy nails, huh? Doing stuff like this. That's okay. A little dirt doesn't hurt. There's a channel named Little Dirt Doesn't Hurt. Again, just push them down in there all the way to the bottom and build up that soil around the stem. Brandywine is one of the best tasting varieties consistently over the years. So again, all the way down to the bottom, push that sucker in there. This is not difficult stuff. Although when you divide out stuff and you propagate things, you feel like a real gardener, huh? You do stuff like this. People think you have a green thumb when you just got dirty nails. They kind of look sad. They'll probably wilt down a little bit from the stress, but they should pop back up. Remember, label your plants. It's real easy to forget what they are. I've got almost 30 varieties of tomatoes going right now, so I need to keep track of what's going on. Who's who, what's what. Alright, last one. All the rest of you fellas, thank you for your service. Now you get to be compost. Now, these are so weighed down by this water that they look sad. But as they dry and the water droplets dry on here, you'll notice that they'll perk up just fine. They've been living out in the sun. They were actually sprouted in the sun. So they're fully hardened off. These are tough guys. They should bounce right back. But I don't want to spray them hard. I'm trying to go easy on them a little bit here. But you do want to soak them in pretty good. Suppose you could water from the bottom, but I want all that vermiculite to kind of level out a bit. Now we'll come back and take a look at these tomorrow and see how they fare. We should know by tomorrow whether they're going to take or whether they're going to break. They will perk up. The ones that aren't going to take will continue just to lie there like that guy right there. Although he's just bent down from water, but yeah, we'll come and look at these tomorrow. While we're waiting through the magic of video editing for the next day, I thought I'd give you a little bit of an update about Black Gumbo Southern Gardening South. If you follow my channel, if you're a subscriber, you've seen that my son has a nice plot of land down a little south from here. And he got chickens, and a lot of the expertise that he found was from you guys. Some of you guys had some very good advice for chickens. And his little hens now, he's got 30 of them. Actually, he's got 29. One of them died. And it was a sad case, but anyway. He's got 29 hens, and they're growing up, and they're starting to look like chickens and act like little dinosaurs. So, yeah, a little update on the hens, and a little update on our sugarcane. It's starting to come up. I'm so excited. Hello, girls. You're getting bigger. You're so big. Yeah, you're all big. Sugarcane progress. It's been a while, but we have some sugarcane finally coming up, and we've got several of them along this row that we planted here. 2 rows, and it's slow, but now the weather's starting to get warm, so I think we'll see more sugarcane coming out of it. All right, there's that update. Let's go look at our tomatoes. While I was at it, I just sowed some more peppers as well. I had some seed left over. These will be for my friends as well. I like doing that. So this is the second day, and I actually just watered these before I realized I wanted to show you once they were dried out. So, but you can see they are they've all taken. They all look healthy. They've all stood up again, and yeah, they're doing fine. And we're going to have a lot of nice tomato plants here. So, thank you for joining me on Black Gumbo Southern Gardening. I'm so grateful for all your views. Please subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. And like our videos, share our videos if you find them useful. Watch us on Facebook and Instagram. And I'll talk to you next time. Happy gardening. Bye-bye.